Hi, this is Dennis from Never Stop Trucking. In today's video, we will talk about Motive ELD application and then also how to save hours when you're out there on the road. So let's start right away. I will go into the app on my phone because I do have a driver app, and then I will be showing you exactly where to do what and when to do it, how to do it, and also at the end of the video I will give you some tips on how to save on hours and get the most out of your day and out of your week when on the road. So let's start right away. When you log into your Motive formerly Keep Trucking app for your ELDs, this is what you're gonna see. And if this is the first time you're logging into it, on the upper right hand corner you will see a couple of red dots. So once you click on your logs and where it says off duty on top left, on the top right there should be a red circle. Sometimes it's blinking, and if you're for the first time connecting your ELD to your truck, then you will be able to choose a truck number from there. So let's say you just started driving and you plugged in your ELD into diagnostic port in your truck, you connected the ELD device, and then the ELD device now will be most likely blinking green and red. It does have two lights. So when you go to your Bluetooth on your phone, you go to settings and then you find the name of that ELD device. The name of the ELD device is usually on the back of that black box. So you look up the name and you connect the Bluetooth to that one. So once you log into your application here, then for the first time you can connect to your truck. Once you connect to your truck, it should always be connected. Once in a while it will disconnect by itself, but you have to make sure always that it's connected, because when you start your logbooks, you start the app like we have right now, it should show on the upper right hand corner, for example, your truck number is 105 or 118 or something like that. It should show on there. If it's not, make sure it's connected. If not, you can call the Motive support or call us, because our driver will help our drivers at all times, of course. Now back to the home. So we have logs, we have support. When you click on support, you can even chat with Motive, and they're very good as far as technical support goes. So even if you call them, they will answer usually right away, and they're very good with support, right? And then here on the right we have documents. That's only if your company is sending you documents through the app. We don't do that. We have a different app for that. Maintenance, you have a pre-trip vehicle inspection, post-trip vehicle inspection, asset inspection, and then the messages. Your company can send you messages through the app. Again, we don't do that here at Usora, but your company can do that. So if you click on pre-trip inspection, you can enter your vehicle ID if it's not already there, right? But you can do all of that in your logs, right? So 99% of your time you're going to be in your logs. So when you click on the upper left corner on that blue square where it says logs, it will take you to your logbook, right? It will always show on top the current day logbook, right? It will be in a form of what it used to be with the paper logs. You have all those lines there. The status says off duty, sleeper berth, driving, and on duty. And then also your other previous logs right there. Since I haven't been driving for a while, it doesn't show any driving or any activity, but we can use this to walk you through. Now, when you click on top where it says off duty, in that bar it says off duty current status, you click on that and then you can change the status right there. You can change it to off duty, sleeper berth, driving, and on duty. Keep in mind, if you want to use personal conveyance, you first have to click on off duty and then save, and then it will give you an option after that. Once you go into this option here, it will give you an option to choose personal conveyance, and we will talk about that when to use it. here in location, you can click on the circle, and then it will pull up your current location, or you can type it in manually. For some reason, it doesn't want to pull my current location right now, but I can just choose Grand Rapids, Michigan, and that's your current location. And then notes here, once you start typing, it will be pulling all the possible statuses, right? So if you go to like on duty, click on the right and click on notes, and then you start typing pre-trip inspection, you can do that. And then once you hit save, then it will save your status. So make sure you always, when you're changing your status, you have to click save, right? I'm not gonna do that, so I'm gonna go back to the logbook. Also, if you click on the logbook itself where it says Sunday, and then there are these statuses, off-duty, sleeper berth, etc. If you click on that, then it will actually pull out the actual logbook for that date, and you can do more things there. You can also change your status if you click on the plus, the blue circle with the plus sign down on the right-hand corner. When you click on that, then you can change current duty status there, insert past duty status, add a remark, and take adverse conditions exception. All right, we'll talk about that in a minute. In the upper corner, in the upper section there, it says log, that's your logbook, and then form. When you click on form, then you can type in all the information of your truck and your trailer and your shipping documents, etc. And then it will ask you if you want to carry over the trailer and shipping documents from yesterday's log, so you don't have to type it in all the time. So vehicle here, your vehicle will be here all the time, because once you connect your truck, it will stay there, trailer as well. Distance, it should also be there. It should count it by itself. And then shipping documents, you have to put that in manually. That's usually your bill of lading number from the actual bill of lading, right? Once you have that, click on the save on the upper right-hand corner. And then here in carrier, this usually stays the same, right? So general, go back to general. We're going to go to cancel because I'm not saving anything, but you should save everything, because otherwise it will not record it. So that will bring me back to the previous screen. Here, where it says sign up there next to the form, you can at the end of the day sign your logbook, and then inspection, you can do inspection, pre-trip and post-trip inspection right there. Click on the down on the circle on the plus, and then you can do a vehicle inspection or trailer inspection, right? So we're not going to save any of that, but make sure you do. We're going to go back. Now here below the Sundays, because today is Sunday, September 1st when I'm recording this, below that you will see your past logbooks, and you can click on it, right? So we're clicking on a day before that, and now we see the date is completed. So make sure there is a red exclamation mark next to sign. Make sure it's signed after each day, because it will give you an error every time it's not signed. Now, another thing you can do here is you can edit some of these statuses, right? The only thing you cannot edit is driving, and not even the admin can do that. But you as a driver and myself as an admin, we can change your off-duty sleeper berth and on-duty statuses. Sometimes that will help you. Like, for example, if you are running out of 70 hours during the week, and if you go back and you can change some of those on-duty statuses to off-duty, you can gain some driving time that way. And then I'll show you how. So when you click on below the actual logbook where it says off 12 a.m. Grand Rapids, Michigan, you click on that, and then you will see on the left side there is an edit option. You click on edit option, and now you can change this, right? For me on a computer, it's easier because I can just drag these. Here you can type in the time. For example, if let's say we want to change off-duty to on-duty here, okay? Now everything is changed because the start time is 12 a.m. to 12 a.m. Let's go back to off-duty, right? And then let's say we want to change the time from noon to 1 p.m. to on-duty. So you just click on the start time here, where it says 12 a.m. You click on it. It will ask you, do you want to insert a past duty status? You click yes, and then you can drag or type in the actual time. So if you drag it to 12 and go back to 1, all right, that's it. So we're gonna move it a little bit. There we go. Now we're gonna do on duty, and let's say this was in Grand Rapids, and then notes. Now you have to put in a note by default, and it's also a good idea to do that. So if you get audited, then the DOT can know what you did. So you can just do something like made a mistake, or something like that. More details, of course, is always better, right? And then you click on save, and that's it. Okay. So sometimes when you, and I'll talk about that later, sometimes when you have a lot of on-duty time, you can change this to off-duty or sleeper berth, and then it will help you with your 70 hours. So this is how you can do it. Again, you cannot change driving time. Go back, instead of saving, go back. If you go back to home, click on the menu up there in the left corner. They like to call it hamburger menu. Click on it and then go to home, and then down there on the bottom where it says off duty, restart complete, and then you can drag that up or click on it. So you just drag it up, and then you can see actual time left for everything, and this is live. So here it does show me that I have 14 hours left in my shift, 70 hours left in my cycle, 11 hours left of driving, and 8 hours until my 30-minute break. And this will change. So once you go on duty, this will change, and it will count down. So it will tell you after 1 hour on duty, it will tell you, for example, you have 13 hours left for your shift, 69 hours left for your cycle, 7 hours left for your 30-minute break. All right, once you start driving, then here, like once you drive 5 hours, it will show you that you have 6 hours left of driving, and that's always live. And then also you can access that. For some reason, it doesn't let me do it this time because maybe I'm not on duty, but if you go to your logs and you click up there on off duty, it should show that same live status right away, but right now it's not showing it to me. Once you go back to that hamburger menu, you can go if you get pulled over by DOT and they want to do an inspection and they want to check your logs, you click on DOT inspection mode, and then click on begin inspection up there. Or if they want you to send them your logs, you can click on send logs, and they will provide you either with an email address for them or a fax address. So you can just send it to them and they will receive it that way. So there are two ways of, if you want to do it, if you click on begin inspection up there, you will have to hand them over your phone or your tablets, and they will access it from your phone. But if you send logs to them, they don't have access to your phone, and I do strongly recommend that. Once we go back to the menu, we can go to messages there. That's where your company can send you messages, notifications. If the admin, in this case myself, changes something on your for you in your logbooks, if we do any edits for you, you will get your notifications here, and you will have to approve them as a driver. If you don't approve them, they will not take effect, right? And then on the bottom there we have dispatches and documents. So we don't use that, and that's only if your company is dispatching you or sending you documents, or if you are sending them documents through the app. Okay, now let's talk about some tips for your hours of service. Personal conveyance. Personal conveyance is a very broad term. Most companies are supposed to have their own rules as far as that goes, but there are some general rules by the DOT what you can and cannot do. Personal conveyance is not meant to be working, right? That's not for working. This is not if you are running out of your hours and you have like 30 miles left to your delivery. Personal conveyance is not for that, okay? So you're not supposed to be working. That's very simple. Anything that's working, personal conveyance is not for that. There might be some exclusions to that, but it's best to talk to your safety manager about that if you're in doubt. So if you're in doubt and you're here in Usora Express, you can just call me and then we'll talk about that. Personal conveyance is not meant to be driving too long. There is no set radius or number of miles or hours that you can be driving under personal conveyance, but you're supposed to use common sense. You can't drive 200 miles on personal conveyance, right? You can't drive 3 hours. It's only meant to be used as a way for you to get to your nearest safe place, okay? And usually that nearest safe place is not going to be anywhere like over 50 miles of driving. Usually you can find something closer to you if you need to move. For example, you're at a delivery in the middle of the night and you're running out of your hours, or you already ran out of your hours, and the receiver is saying, hey, you can't stay there, like we are not going to let you, you gotta leave. And you tell them, well, I'm out of my hours, and they're saying, well, we don't care. So then in that case, you can switch to personal conveyance. Again, you have to go to off duty on your logbook first, and then there will be that option shown to you in your logbooks to switch to personal conveyance. Then you turn on personal conveyance, and then you start driving to the nearest parking lot, rest area, truck stop, or something like that. Some drivers will use it to go out shopping. I am not sure if that's really okay, but I've seen drivers using it, and I'm like, well, let's talk about it. If you're in doubt, let's talk about it, and we talk about that, right? So if you need to go to a store or something like that, if you are at home and you gotta take your truck to a shop, that's considered working, right? That's not considered personal conveyance because it's part of the job, okay? So anything that's part of the job is not allowed to do that. Now, again, all drivers out there, I used to drive myself, and I know how it is sometimes. Sometimes you will run out of hours. It's something like there is going to be traffic. There is going to be something that's preventing you. So in that case, in my opinion, it's better to do that than get into a violation, right? But, again, you have to plan your hours, and we'll talk about that as well. So how can you save hours on your logbook? This especially concerns the drivers who stay out for more than a week on the road. So if you have to do a reset on the road, then this will apply to you, because you can't really save hours for a 14-hour period for the whole day. Like once you start your clock in the morning, you can't stop it, right? You cannot stop the clock. Whatever you're doing, you can be sleeping in your truck for 5 hours, your clock is ticking, and you have to stop and get a rest of 10-hour rest after 14 hours, since you originally started your clock in the morning. For example, you start your clock at 6 a.m., so your shift will end at 8 p.m. at night. There is no way around that. You can drive for an hour in the morning till like 7 a.m. and then get loaded, wait for a load, do something, but you cannot drive or work or do anything in your truck after 8 p.m. that night. You have to wait for 10 hours in your truck and get that rest. You can use a split shift, but that's only in certain situations, okay? So that's it. But if you're 70 hours, you're using all your 70 hours on the road, then you can save some money, save some time by switching your status to sleeper berth or off duty. Okay, with Motive app, it's kind of inconvenient because once you stop driving, and I think after 6 minutes of being stopped, if you don't change your status manually on your app, the app will automatically take you to on duty, right? And then that's counted against your 70 hours. So you have to, after you stop driving, you have to go there and manually, you yourself, change your status to sleeper berth or off duty in order not to use those hours. You can, I showed you a way, you can edit those later if you remember. But ideally, you can just do it yourself, just change right away. Once you stop driving, change to sleeper berth or off duty. That way, it's not counting against your 70-hour clock. Also, DOT will accept 30 minutes of loading or unloading times, right? Sometimes even less if you have like a couple of pallets, but 30 minutes is kind of like a standard. So if you're the shipper or receiver for more than 30 minutes, you can only log those 30 minutes as on duty, as loading. Sometimes, like I said, in rare situations, maybe even 15 minutes. But the rest can be changed to sleeper berth or off duty. Okay, so this will help you with two things. It will help you with your 8-hour break, that you 30-minute break after 8 hours of on duty each day. Well, of 8 hours of driving, I should say. So if you change to sleeper berth, right, and then you're more than 30 minutes in your sleeper or off duty, now you have another 8 hours in that day where you don't have to stop and get a 30-minute break. And then this will also not count against your 70 hours for the whole week, all right, for your cycle. So those are the two things that you can save by just simply changing to off duty and sleeper berth as much as you can in order to save hours. Also, the best practice for a driver is to plan to do a 34-hour reset on a weekend. Usually, we as a company here, we will have you on a Friday in a good area. We will try not to send you to be in a bad area on a Friday because we want to find a load that takes you far, far away so you can make the most money and the most miles over that weekend, because practically you will have 3 days. So what we like to do is find you a load that's like 1,000 miles at least, or like 1,200 miles, and that load you can complete in 2 working days. And like I said, we kind of assume that you're going to be at your delivery on Friday morning, and then you're going to be done sometime in the morning and then go to pick up. And then we assume that you can be driving that Friday, maybe like a half of that trip, or like 400 miles or 500 miles, something like that. And then the rest of the trip to the delivery, that's usually on Monday, you can drive on Saturday. And on Saturday night, once you log out, you can do your reset. You want to make sure that you get as close as you can to that delivery for Monday, like 20, 30 miles, 50 miles, maybe even get to the place itself if you can, if you have all the facilities there. But if not, then just go 20, 30 miles, 50 miles away from the delivery is fine. Now you can do your reset there, and then you have a fresh week. If you spread those 1,000 miles into 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you're not going to be able to do a reset. You may be using recap hours sometime during the week, but eventually you will run out of those hours, and then you will be forced to do a reset in the middle of the week where you can make the most money and most miles. That doesn't make sense. It's best to do it on a weekend, and preferably on a Sunday. If you pick up a load on Friday, and then you stop and you do your 34-hour reset, then like you have, again, you're far away from delivery for Monday. Anything can happen. It's a weekend, something breaks down, they're not going to be able to fix you because everyone is closed. You're risking, there are more chances that something is going to be wrong. You're not going to be able to deliver on time on Monday. And then also those hours will count in your next week, those hours that you're driving for those 2 days. This way, you have a fresh week, fresh 70 hours. Also, even during middle of the week, like when you're delivering your loads, it's best to always go to delivery. Like if you're getting there at night or in the evening, instead of stopping somewhere before the delivery, like 100 miles before there, and then in the morning you have to fight with the rush hour. You're using that time. The next day, you're losing your 14 hours. Like you're not going to have the whole 14 hours next day that way. So it's best if you can, if there is a safe place to stop at the delivery, if they will let you stay there overnight, of course, it's best to always go to delivery. That way, in the morning, you don't have to start your clock until you absolutely have to, they make you, right? This way, if you're far away from the delivery in the morning, like even like 20 miles or 50 miles, you have to start your clock at like 6, 7, 8 in the morning, and then the clock is ticking. Then you absolutely cannot do anything about it. But if you go there at night, straight through, in the morning, you don't have to start the clock right away. You can start the clock, later. Okay, only when you have to. So this way, you're gaining more hours. Also, doing a 30-minute break whenever you can is great. Don't be on duty the whole time when you're delivering or picking up a load or even getting fuel or something like that, or stopping in a rest area. Make sure that you change some of that time to 30 minutes to sleeper berth or off duty. So that way you will always have 8 hours available ahead. You're not going to be looking at your clock constantly. You're not going to be making plans like, where am I going to stop? Am I going to run out of hours? Am I going to go into violation? This way you always have 8 hours available. Using split shift, most drivers will not use it, but in the Motive app there is an option, and it will show you, like when you go to your hours available, you can turn on that option. There is a little slide button, and then it will show you, like if you go to sleeper berth, and it will show you when you can actually start and use that split shift. I advise that, like if you're going home, if you're doing short loads, then that can be used to get sooner to home. And then another very important thing is to plan your trip, where to get fuel, when and where to sleep and rest. For example, you get a load and you know how many miles you have, and you maybe know the route, you know the truck stops or the rest areas. Always plan like, hey, I'm going to get my fuel here. I'm going to rest here. I'm going to do my 30-minute break here. I'm going to sleep here. And then even if you get a load for next day ahead, then you can plan for that. Like, okay, I'm going to deliver at this time. I need like 30 minutes or an hour to get to the pickup, and then I'll do so and so. So the more you plan, the better you will use your hours of service. Thanks for watching. This is Enis from Never Stop Trucking. Come back for more, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you around.